Hi, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today I'm back with another video here. Really good game, really good win tonight for the Philadelphia Flyers against the New York Islanders. 1-0 in the shootout. A lot of good things in this one. We'll start with the stats. Again, there's a lot of little things that kind of break down in this one. The Flyers obviously had a really tough game yesterday. Blew a lot of chances with the power play. This game really sound offensively. Had good. It was very similar to yesterday's game against the Rangers. They had a lot of chances. They got a lot of shots. Islanders are again they're so boring. It was another low scoring kind of, I say boring, but I don't really mean boring because it was exciting, but it just wasn't high scoring, and that's what I mean by boring. Again, 40 shots on net for the Flyers, 25 for the Islanders, 23 blocks for the Islanders, 26 for the Flyers. That was crazy. A lot of blocked shots. Both goaltenders were fantastic. Sam ERSSON was so good for the Flyers. Sorokin is Sorokin. He stopped 34 of 34 in even strength. And the Flyers netminder ERSSON stopped 25 of 25 at even strength. And then, the Flyers, where do I even start? I'll start with the lineup because I think the lineup deserves a little bit of talking about, and we're on the negative side of things because I really don't love the lines in this game, even though I thought they played well. Ristolainen is back, activated today, makes his season debut. Actually thought he played really well. Played like that solid Ristolainen type game. Like I didn't notice him too much in a negative or a huge positive. I thought there were some good plays, some plays where, just like a solid Ristolainen type play of what he's been doing for, the past year and a half or so. Lines in this one: Konechny, Couturier, Forrester, Tippett, Frost, Atkinson, Farabee, Paling, and Cates. Delorier, Lawton, and Hathaway. Defense: York, Sanheim, Sealer, Walker, Stahl, Risto, and Sam ERSSON in net. Like I mentioned, first period was good for the Flyers. It was chances for both teams. Islanders didn't have a shot for a long period of time. They had maybe 6 in the first 4 to 5. That was close to me. It was at least 5 or 6 in the first 3, 4, 5 minutes of that period. It was kind of all Islanders. Flyers had 2 good shifts by the Farabee and Konechny lines. Risto had a good play at the side of the net, and then the Flyers just dominated from there. Paling had a chance in tight after Walker let one go. Cates had a good forecheck chance for Farabee in tight. I thought Cates was very good early on. He's at wing in this game, and you clearly see the difference. Cates should be at wing. I really, really want them to go back to Tippett with Frost and Cates. I think that can... First of all, they haven't done it since Mike Yeo was fired. Or let go, I guess. And Torts came in. And, well, I shouldn't say that. Yeo didn't really get fired. He kind of just got let go because the season ended. But you get my point, whatever. They haven't done that since that time period. And, look, I would like to see that go back together. I think that can definitely get a spark going of Cates offensively. For Frost, I thought he had a good game. ERSSON clearly is my Flyer of the night. I tweeted it out, and I wasn't really being serious. It was kind of more of I was like, I don't know who to choose. I knew who to choose. What I meant was I was trying to say that multiple guys played well. It kind of was making it hard for me. Was kind of my point with that. And a lot of people misread that. And you're like, you idiot, it's ERSSON. Oh, okay. So apparently, not allowed to have a different opinion. God forbid. Anyway, the Flyers, again, they had a lot of chances in the first period, and they kept it going. Sanheim had a nice play on Horvat on the rush, swept it back, had good play in coverage after that. Islanders get a power play. Offensive zone was a trip by Paling. Not the best penalty to take there, a no zone one, especially a trip like that. Unfortunately, gets caught up in the skates. It was a good kill. They didn't really give him too much. I thought Cates looked good. Again, like I said, Coots had a chance in this a lot late. Flyers were taking advantage of the Islanders being bad, and that was the one thing that it kind of it's been taking them a little bit to kind of, felt like the last game they never really took advantage of that, like the Islanders being bad. They just didn't. Second period, Frost sets up a rush one way, chance from Walker from the point, good shift by the Coots line for the Flyers. Tippett almost set up Lawton laying down. It would have been a beautiful pass. I thought Frost looked really good in this game. Like, the Flyers, they generated a lot of chances in this one. Cycling, getting pucks deep, winning a lot of plays low. Again, activating their points, point shots, whatever. Like, dumping the puck in was working. They were getting speed through that area and dumping it into areas where they could get a forechecker to it. Walker made a nice play on the one. The broadcast had highlighted it as Walker dumping the puck in. Yeah, it was a good play. I'm not criticizing it, but Frost made the whole play happen from the D zone up, and then Walker added to it, and they ended up getting a scoring chance. It was a great play all around. Islanders do get a power play. That was a trip on Risto. Horrible call. Absolutely horrible call. What I liked about that was the Flyers, they killed it and they just went right back to the offense. Like, I've said this all season. Ever since this year has started, they have literally, like, if they give up a goal, score a goal, get a scoring chance, take a penalty, whatever, they go right back at it. Like, there's been a couple off games where it's, like, taken them a little bit to maybe get back into that, but they have gone right back at it. Really, really solid effort in the second, and there's a power play for the Islanders again. It's a phantom high sticking call. They call it on Walker, so he gets called. We go into the third period. Flyers kill off the power play. Basically, nothing really came out of it for the Islanders again. Good shift by the Coots line, I thought. Power play for the Flyers here. Forrester, he draws it. Frost had so much skill in the flank in this one. He had a lot of creative plays in this one. He had a nice dangle on Barzal. I thought he had a good game. He, for not playing in 3, he had, a real good game. And again, like I said, like, when he's in, you notice him, and some don't. I do. I don't get why, but Flyers just could not solve Sorokin. Tyson Forrester looked like Tyson Forrester in this game. Like, this is finally one of the games where I was like, he looks like how he did last year. Like, he looks like the player that you saw last year that could just came in and just played hockey. Like, it seemed like he was so in his head. And, like, I mean, like, this game, obviously he gets the shootout winner. I'll talk about that in a minute. But for Forrester in this game, obviously doesn't have any points. 3 hits, 6 shots on goal, 18 minutes, 9 seconds of ice time. He obviously gets the game-winning shootout goal as well, which was a beautiful move. I'm hoping that might be able to give him a little bit of confidence. I thought the goal against Vegas would, and he kind of tipped off, I felt, after that. I didn't think he had the best game against Columbus. And obviously I've been critical of Forrester this year not because I think he's played bad. I just think he's continuously getting put in a spot where, like, I don't really think it keeps helping him. Like, I'm not saying that I don't want a rookie on the first line. Clearly, that would just be moronic. But what I'm saying is I feel like it's more of getting into his own head, and, like, it's the definition of insanity. It's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's kind of what I feel like with Forrester on the first line. It's like you're doing this and you're doing this again and again, and you're expecting something different every time, and it's not it's not working. Try to change it. See what might, a tweak or two might help. Like, and again, it's how I don't like Forrester. I feel like I got to repeat myself all the time because everyone misconstrues what I say. Again, I thought Ristolainen had a good game. Dobson, he ends up getting stopped late by ERSSON. Connecting, he blocks one, and then we go to overtime. I'll talk about Risto in a minute. Let me get through the game. Sanheim had a chance in tight. Chances for both teams. Konechny, Nelson. It goes back and forth. And I'm thinking to myself, why do they want to change to their own 3? Why? It's such a good format. Who cares about the circling back into the zone? Who cares? Why does that matter? Like, why do we get something in the NHL that is so good? And all you have to do is extend the time 5 minutes. And you would not have this problem. Like, you would not have this problem. It was like, oh, the teams are making it too boring because they circle back into the zone. Why? Who cares? Who cares if the teams circle the puck back into the zone? Like, as if teams weren't going to try to make this a strategic play and get into the zone and try to get something. Some of the best goals in 3-on-3 scored ever since it's come in 2015 have been scored on plays where they circle back into the zone and generate offense. Who cares? It is the craziest thing to me. Anyway, we go to the shootout. ERSSON stones Horvat. Sorokin stops Atkinson on the back end. Wallstrom, really nice save by ERSSON there. Coots at the post. Oh my God, it was the same move as the penalty shot. It would have been disgusting. I was hoping he was either going to do that or the one-hand Forsberg move he did a couple years ago in New Jersey. Barzal, he gets stopped. A great save by ERSSON again. Frost gets stopped glove side. I was like, oh, that would have been sick if he scored that, because he scored that one in the preseason in Boston, that same move. He scored low glove, tried to go high glove this time, and then Palmieri misses. He fans on it, and Tyson Foerster wins it for the Flyers. They win this one 1-0. A really solid game, like I said. As for the Flyers tonight, I liked a lot of guys. I liked the Coots line. I thought everyone played well there. Same with the Frost line. I liked Atkinson for later parts of it. He was a little invisible, and I think he's been a little invisible for probably the first 2 periods in this game. I liked Farabee, Paling, and Cates. They were all on that 2019, I believe it was, or 2018 World Juniors team for the U.S. I don't know if that was a little bit of chemistry coming together there, but as for the D, Ristolainen, like I said, I thought he had a solid game. I thought he made some good plays, getting the puck out of the zone, being physical. There was a couple plays at the side of the net that I thought he did well defending on and using his body, but not also taking himself out of the play. I was a little curious about that, with an off season and everything else that kind of went on with Risto and the injury. Would he go back to that style of taking himself out with a hit? Because it was I know it's a longer sample size of how good he played, but for the stretch of his NHL career, it's such a small little window, right? So I'm like, all right, let's kind of see how he does. For a first game against a pretty physical and older team in the Islanders, they block a ton of shots, like I mentioned. They're just a boring team. It's kind of a good game to get a pretty physical defenseman in Risto, and I thought he was up to the challenge, and obviously ERSSON, so good. I mean, the Islanders didn't have a lot of shots for a while. He made some great saves in OT. I didn't really feel like the Islanders, it just felt like they couldn't pick a corner or anything tonight. I feel like there's a lot of games where they play against us where they get these absolute snipe goals, and ERSSON was just that good. He was taking out the angle crazy. It was really good to see, and he had a really solid game tonight, and I'm again huge fan of kind of where he's at, and I think I wasn't one of those guys that was trying to pile on ERSSON earlier in the year, especially the Ducks game. I'm he's getting held out to dry. And everyone's like, oh, he's terrible and all this, everything. And now look at him. It's crazy how much people kind of change up that quick on some of the younger guys and stuff. And again, I'm not a huge fan of kind of where this is at, because I don't really think the Flyers are doing the rebuild right. But I do think there are little moments they are. And it's some games like this that can kind of, they push a little bit of buttons sometimes. But I think overall, hasn't been the best, but that's a different topic for a different day. It was a really good game tonight. 1-0 win in the shootout over the New York Islanders. Thanks everybody again for all the support as always. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. My name is Chris, and I will talk to you all again soon.